Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome for another live episode of Tender Talk. So, as usual, give me a couple of seconds so we can get as many people on live as possible. If you are on right now, be sure to share or tag anyone you think who wants to know something about the tender. Give me a few seconds. I'm going to get this shared up because we need to get more of a community here. We need to get more people in on the conversation. More people need to know a lot more information. Okay. Now, as I get all this shared up, just touch quickly on last week's Tender Talk. We talked about variations. Now, it was a very, very good Tender Talk, talking about variations and how they can affect you. Because let's face it, nearly everyone makes a variation somewhere along the point, and it's very hard to work out what you want straight off the bat. So head back over to last week's episode of Tender Talk where we talked about variations and watch that for yourself. And if you know anyone that's interested in that, tag them and let them know about that variations episode of Tender Talk. Okay, almost ready to get things underway here. Just a few more seconds and we will make it happen. In the comments below, I'd love to know if you are watching right now, where you're watching from, and where you are in your journey of building, whether you are building, whether you've just finished building, whether you're looking, whether you're renting. In the comments below, let me know. I'd love to know where you're watching from and where you are in your journey. Okay, so today's episode, as you can see behind me, external steps and landing. Now, these things may not be quoted in your tender, so it's something that you may want to look out for, especially if you have a slopey block. So, where would these be necessary? So more than likely, if you have a highly sloping block, then you may need to have some sort of external steps and staircases, say from the al fresco, bringing you down to the natural ground, possibly even from the front porch, so maybe bringing you up to your front porch, then go into your house, or even from the laundry to get outside. Now, you may be able to get all tenders before any levels are taken on the block, which is fine, but this is something that you may want to investigate whether or not you are going to need, because sometimes you may wish to get this installed with the builder during the construction of your new home. Or some people may actually wish to build these types of things when they're doing their landscaping. So say for example, if you need external steps around your alfresco, you may decide to build them with your deck. And so this is now the second week in a row I've had the phone ring during my live Tender Talk. But that's what happens during live shooting, so we get on with it. So yeah, the alfresco. So you may want to get them built with your landscaping. Maybe you're doing some decking as well, so you maybe want them out of some nice finished timber. So there are a couple of different ways to go about them, but it's not a bad idea to be aware if you do need them, and also work out how you want them constructed. You can have them out of concrete. They can maybe do them with a slab. They might be able to do bricks. They might be able to do bricks, and then they have some precast concrete panels that go over the top. You can do just some basic timber. You can do some nice decorative timber. So there are quite a lot of different methods to construct them, depending on how you want them to actually work with your house. Whether or not you just want them to be there just functional, or you may want them to actually look part of the backyard. You may want them to look as part of your front yard, walking up to your porch. You might have a few retaining walls at the front, so you may have a few steps going up to the front of your porch. I'd say more the laundry side would be on the side of the house, so that might just be more a practical thing, depending if that leads out to some sort of side area. So steps and landing. So a lot of these things, say for example the laundry, you may want to actually step out to a landing before it actually goes down to some steps, depending on how many actually steps are required. So find out whether or not steps are required, and this is something that we'll be able to find out once you get all your contours done so we can actually find out the exact level of your property, and the position where the house is going to sit will determine where you're going to need steps, and if you want the builder to do them or if you want them to do yourself. Now, I'd love for you to tag someone who is in the process, getting a tender, and they're a little bit unsure whether or not they need external steps and how they're going to actually do them or construct them. I'd also love to know what you did at your home with your external steps. Did you get your builder to do them? Did you do them yourself? Did you get your landscaper to do them? Did you make a feature out of them? So, there's a lot of actual things you can actually do here. So, think about your external steps. Think about if you need them and how you want them to look. Alright guys, thanks for joining me on today's episode of Tender Talk. Join me live again next week for another episode. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.